So I'm hoping you could kind of tell me more about your experiences as the university archivist, head of special collections and archives, and how you've met with other faculty and brought these great papers in.
Oh, such a big topic.
It's your legacy.
Well, you took the word out of my mouth. It's, there's so much that goes on in the course of being a librarian here and an archivist. And, just there's so many ways in which you're involved in things, managing, never my favorite thing, hiring terrific people over time. But when it comes to legacy, collections endure. They're the thing that you can look back on and say, yeah, that's here because I was brave enough to go, blah, blah, blah. And it's really exciting, and especially exciting to see all the things, hear about all the things that have come in the 6 years since I left. So much fantastic stuff, and all the things that came in while I was here that have now been processed and are bringing in researchers and being taken to classes and all that kind of stuff. But having grown up and spent most of my life in Orange County, I sort of knew how Orange County had developed since 1958 when we moved here from the Midwest and I was 6, and seen it grow and see it. First exhibit we did was called From Ranchos to Real Estate. And that was really kind of the story, especially Irvine starting out as agricultural land. And one of the first photos before they built anything in the campus is this Indian chief from San Juan Capistrano standing with Chancellor Dan and kind of pointing at the hills. That's where we'll build the campus. So I had seen this development and I knew I wanted to document that. And also back in the 70s, the environmental movement, which was just kind of a glimmer in people's eyes, was really starting to already make a difference in terms of trying to slow development. I mean, because development was just through the roof. The city of Irvine was just starting to be, people would talk about this three-legged stool of the Irvine Company, the city of Irvine, and UCI, the campus, as the three of them all being so intertwined and developing simultaneously. And the Ray Watson papers have, he was a president, I think, of the Irvine Company. Really interesting stuff about that, those early days and that early evolution. So I knew I wanted to try to collect contemporary history materials. Most of the Orange County materials in the department at that point were historical, and there really hadn't been much collecting of current material. So that was a real objective. When it comes to the campus, I mentioned how amazed I was when I came back here about how many names from the early days I knew. Julian Feldman, founding faculty in computer science. Spence Olin, who was founding faculty in history. My husband has been on the faculty in the medical school as a scientist since 1972. And so I also knew a lot of names from that side of campus. I worked in biological sciences as a student. So Jim McGaw, all of these people. And so I had a sense at some level of who was going to be important. I also was aware of really notable, unusual programs like comparative cultures. This was it was what it sounds like. This was before ethnic studies programs really existed, and comparative cultures was a program in social sciences that was there to study cultures comparatively. And it died out. University Archives has the records, so you could find out when it died, maybe in the late 70s, maybe in the early 80s. Why did it die? I don't remember much about it, but I'm guessing it was in part because other racial and ethnic specific departments started to rise up, and just the whole fabric of ethnic studies started to really change. Social ecology was another one. Really unusual mix of disciplines all under that rubric. and truly renowned from the very beginning for the extent to which students had field study experiences, really part of the fabric. I hope that's still true over there.